Jer Thorp, Living in Data, A Citizen's Guide to a Better Information Future. Welcome to the summary of A Living in Data, A Citizen's Guide to a Better Information Future by Jer Thorp. This informative read will explore the world of data visualization and its impact on our daily lives. The author delves into the power dynamics of data collection and use while advocating for a more decentralized web that puts communities in control of their own data. Prepare to engage with topics like data inequality, the importance of constructing data responsibly, and practical examples of how artists and activists make data more meaningful and accessible to secure a more equitable future.
Uncovering the Invisible Through Data Visualization. Jer Thorp, a data artist and TED speaker, uncovers the complex aspects of data by visualizing it. Thorp is passionate about making data more equitable by advocating for a decentralized web that returns data stories to the communities that created them. Data Citizenship. In the book, the author, Adam Thorp, explores the theme of closing the loop between data and the people it comes from and highlights the critical need for people to acknowledge they are data citizens. Thorp emphasizes that people construct data rather than merely finding it, and to end social inequality, everyone must take personal charge of their own data and block collectors who invade their privacy. The author reveals how those in power control data and reinforces social inequality by deciding who collects data, from whom, and for what purposes they can use it. Artist Mimi Anyuha is an example of someone who accumulates missing datasets, such as those on marginalized groups like ethnic minorities, indigenous peoples, LGBTQ+ and disabled individuals. Thorp highlights that the group that has the data has no incentive to make it available, while the group that wants the data doesn't have the resources to collect it. In conclusion, the author seeks to further knowledge and protect those from whom data is collected through their full participation and responsible data collection. The mismatches of data reality. The data collection process starts at the genesis moment, becoming more complex as it transforms into various data about its origin, measurability, and analysis. However, data collection is limited to binary choices, which do not reflect the nuances of real-world situations. This mismatch between binary data and lived reality creates problems when data is applied to the real world, whether by people or algorithms. The desire to start over with a better database stems from the limitations of binary data and its incapacity to represent real-world complexities effectively. The Dehumanization of Numbers. In his book, Thorp discusses how the human brain struggles to conceptualize enormous numbers, leading to the dehumanization of people. To demonstrate this, theatre students in Manchester tried to represent the world's population with rice grains. However, due to the vastness of the population, they settled on representing Britain's population with 60 million grains. Thorp argues that this tendency to generalize and use placeholders can distance people from their true numerical value, and encourages readers to consider alternatives to this dehumanizing process. The Map Room, Unlocking Civic Data for Marginalized Communities. The Map Room, created by Jer Thorp, uses personal narratives to help marginalized communities access public data. Silicon Valley has steered users toward commercial venues to profit from users accessing their own data. The Map Room empowers users by providing access to civic data. Thorp's 2017 debut in a St. Louis school exemplified how students used maps of their neighborhoods to compare with historical records, revealing redlining that persists today. The Map Room helps marginalized communities read civic data, empowered through personal narratives to reveal how inequality was embedded in the American landscape. Who owns your data? As people house data all over the world, tech giants such as Google and Facebook store it in large U.S. complexes, but the nations from which they collect the data have governance. New Zealand's Maori claimed ownership of data related to land, property, and artifacts with indigenous associations. The Te Mana Wurrunga advocates for Maori data rights, asserting that they are subject to their 1840 Treaty of Waitangi. They created a bottom-up demography based on the Maori worldview, and anyone seeking access must explain how they will use the data. The question remains, who really owns your data? Empowering data citizens. URLs have a history of driving traffic without tracking what users find post-click. Tech giants have capitalized on this by providing restricted data access, profiting from user-submitted data. However, new technologies are dislodging centralized data ownership, leading to data democratization. As a result, humans can take control of their data by focusing on sharing stories to establish communities rather than subjection to monopolies. By empowering data citizens and creating relatable and concrete data worlds based on real-life experiences, the old models can be replaced with inclusive communities of data ownership. The Art of Conceptualizing Data. Jer Thorp's unique approach to data analysis through art encourages digital equity, but may require multiple readings for older readers to grasp its arcane concepts. Thorp's novel perspective provides a revolutionary view of both data and the idea of what can constitute it, making his book an essential read for anyone interested in understanding data.
As we conclude our summary of A Living in Data, we hope you gained insights about the important issues surrounding data collection, use, and control. Thorp emphasizes the need to close the loop between data and the individuals they represent, advocating for data citizenship. He also highlights the challenges faced by marginalized communities, whose missing datasets often lead to further social inequality. By exploring initiatives like the Map Room and Te Manararanga, the author sheds light on how data can be ethically constructed, shared, and maintained by communities. Ultimately, Thorp's message encourages us to work towards a more equitable information future, where everyone is empowered as a data citizen and can responsibly engage with their own stories,